for President is you travel across our country. So yesterday morning, I was in Memphis, Tennessee, standing on the balcony where Dr. Martin Luther King was shot 40 years ago. I had an opportunity to speak to a group of clergy and citizens earlier about my own recollections and memories as a young woman meeting Dr. King and hearing him preach when I was 14 years old, having a chance to be influenced by him, his vision of nonviolence, his inclusivity, his dream for not only African Americans but all Americans and indeed people around the world to have a chance to live after their own dreams. And as I said yesterday and would say again and again and again, the best way to honor Dr. King's legacy is by fulfilling it. There is so much work yet to be done. One can look around our country and see too many people who don't have the tools that they need to make the most out of their own lives. Children whose prospects are stunted before they ever even enter school. College out of the financial reach of hard-working families and their kids. Too many young people and their parents and grandparents worrying that we may, for the first time in American history, leave our country worse off than when we found it. Breaking faith with all that has gone before. I'm running for president because I believe that we can not only keep faith and give our children the future that they deserve, but actually solve the problems, meet the challenges, and seize the opportunities. It's a question of whom we choose. There are now 3 of us left vying for the presidency. And I believe one thing I hope you know about me is that I don't quit. I am a fighter. I believe this country is worth fighting for. And I also believe that you don't make difficult, consequential change in America merely by wishing for it or hoping for it. By getting up every day and working hard for it. That's what I've done all my life. That's what most of you have done all of your lives. I will take on the special interests who, by my calculation, have been given about $55 billion in tax breaks. And instead, let's start offering tax breaks, which I believe can reach $100 billion a year to middle class and working families back at home. It seems apparent now that we are sliding into a recession. The job numbers from last month were discouraging. More than 80,000 jobs lost. This administration and their allies can find $30 billion to bail out Bear Stearns, but can't find money and wherewithal to help keep homeowners in their homes. We still have a tax code that is both unfair and unpatriotic. What do I mean by that? Why on earth should there be 1 penny of tax benefit in our tax code for any company that exports a job from Oregon to Florida? And why should there be tax benefits for Wall Street money managers making $50 million a year who pay a lower percentage of their income in taxes than a teacher, a nurse, or a truck driver right here? Worked for what I believe to be a fair, equal society. where we expect everyone to do his or her part. I was raised by parents who worked hard, believed in the work ethic, instilled individual responsibility in me, but I've also seen over the course of my life that bad things happen to good people. Medical crises, job losses, economic slowdown. So the genius of our American system was to strike the right balance, to encourage people to be risk takers and to do their part, to have a good life for themselves and their families, but to have a government that would be on your side, so that when times got tough and you needed some support, they were there to get you through those hard days. We've always been best when we walk that balance beam. You know, when we have the right understanding of how our government functions with separation of powers and checks and balances. And I've always believed that a progressive American agenda was the best way for America to progress together. And so what I put forward in this campaign are the boldest plans with the biggest goals. Because I think if you don't aim high, you're not even going to get near to where you're going. And presenting a truly universal healthcare system. You know, sometimes during this campaign I hear some folks criticizing the 1990s. And I always ask myself, which part didn't they like, the peace or the prosperity? Because we know how to do this. It wasn't so long ago we were. 22.7 million new jobs, the average family's income going up $7,000. For African American and Latino families, even more. People being lifted out of poverty for the first time in decades. Everyone believing that if they worked hard, they would have a shot at the American dream. And let's remember, when George Bush became president, oil was at $20 a barrel. We had a balanced budget and a surplus. I have laid out plans that will meet our needs, but also doing it in a fiscally responsible way. Everything I've proposed, I tell you how I pay for it. You can go to my website, HillaryClinton.com, because I want you to hold me accountable. Part of the reason I'm so specific in this campaign is I think we've had enough of false promises and speeches